Khady, do you have a website dedicated to African languages, right?
Yes, so the name of the website is lapolyglotte.com. And basically, the purpose of the website is that to bring awareness about African languages to the people and make it fun and easy and great resources for people to find content to learn about African languages.
Okay, but let me know. In African languages, we have more than 3,000 languages, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of languages. It's a so complex culture. And
Hmm.
uh, do you have some of languages that you can say these are my not I don't know, maybe the language that I like most, your
Oh,
preferences.
so the language that I like the most are Swahili, Songo, Oaxaca, Swaka, and also like Bambara, Serer. Serer is a language from Senegal, which is from the east part of Africa, and Arabic. That's one of the language I like the most.
Okay, and uh, actually, what languages do you study?
So it's good question because I'm currently studying Swahili and a little bit of Arabic. I do speak Wolof, but I have to relearn it to know how to write it. So I was
Uh,
able because my parents are from Senegal, so Wolof is the main language in Senegal. But I was not. I learned how to speak, but not how to write it.
okay.
So the script is from the Latin alphabet, and now I'm retaking classes with someone in Senegal where she explained me how to write the language.
Okay, the language is Wolof,
Yes,
and it's from Senegal.
yes.
The writing system is so different or not?
No, we use Latin alphabet, for example, for Wolof. And 50, 15% of the language come from Arabic, and we have also French words inside the language. So it's not that complicated to learn Wolof because it has a mix of Arabic and French inside.
And you study Arabic and you speak French.
Yes,
Okay, okay. Sounds like a piece of cake to you.
yes, of course, yeah. But because I'm someone who's really interested about into languages, and it's really recently that I came across this community of polyglots. When I was started to learn languages or to be interested about languages when I was 8, and I started with the normal languages, right? I learned started with Spanish, then I went to Chinese, um, and then I was like, oh, that's really cool. But I never like label myself as a polyglot because I didn't know about this word, right? And it's after when I was like working on and doing some research on social media and see that there are so many like polyglot communities. So it's really, really interesting.
Yes, and uh, can you explain me the the best points in to learn African languages in general for you as a specialist?
As for me, it's important to learn African languages to be aware about what is happening in Africa. So because I'm currently living in Toronto, but I'm really involved in different African community and association here. And language is a key point to be aware of what is happening in the continent. Of course, obviously, it's easy like to find content like and I will say colonialist languages like French, English, Spanish, Portuguese, or in those languages. But is I get more insight when I talk to people in their own language. So basically, first of all, for me was um, to if I learn these languages, it's like to be aware of what is happening in Africa. Then the second point is that by talking to people and when people that I met, a lot of people told me that it's really complex to find content on the web. And I'm a specialist in African languages, but first of all, my job is digital marketing. So I'm a digital marketer. So every day, I do some search on the web to search content, to search keywords. So I was like, well, if I can combine my skills in digital marketing and also languages, I can do something pretty new that no one think about it. So I start to do keyword research and content research, and I've seen that there is a lack of information in African languages. So I told myself that I have to fill this gap. I have to fill this lack of information, and that people now could be aware about African languages. So my website will be more and more educational than just like for giving content. Because I do not produce content. So I find the content and I put it on my website. So for example, if you want to learn tomorrow Bambara and you're looking for some, you will find definitely like information on the web. But if you don't know how to search, which keywords you should type on the web,
Hmm.
then you will not find information that is relevant for you, and maybe you will be like discouraged to learn further the language. But if you come to my website and you see, oh, she made interview with someone who learned the language Bambara. So the person did, what process did she did to find the content? Because each time when I do the interview, I ask people, so how did you find the content on the web? And mostly that is through social media. Mostly like
Hmm.
is on the web. So I give some tips, and then I go deeper and write article about the correlation between SEO and content.
Yeah, that's first of all, that's nice to hear because uh, that's I feel empathy because I learn languages to communicate. I learn languages as a tool. Languages is just about tools to communicate. The point is to reach more people, and I see a lot of people using people like tools to learn languages like the goal, but that's not the point. Languages, tools, people, goals, and I like what you're saying, and I don't know. I think most part of people is focused on learning European languages, and do you know it's like complex and beautiful culture, and I think people are not seeing this.
Definitely. And I cannot blame them. It's like when I say that, when you're saying this, I don't blame anyone about learning European languages. And I also think that people that learn those languages because they might be interested also for economical reasons that we have to keep in mind. And that's why like some people do not learn some African languages because they're not connecting to the continent. So what I want to do is like on my website is like through those interviews from people from all around the world saying that even that you're not African or you're not African descent, you might be interesting to learn African languages. As, like for a concrete example, as I told you earlier, like for example, if you take the language Wolof, Wolof is a combination of Wolof, so African languages, French and Arabic. So basically, if you're learning Wolof, you have the basic like vocabulary to learn French and Arabic. So then it would be easier for you to learn those European languages or another Afro Asiatic language, right? So it's not only about African languages. It's also if you learn one, two, three of them, you will be able to. It will be easier for you to learn European languages or other languages.
Yeah, I get your point, and as I say, it's a piece of cake for you because you speak French and you're learning Arabic. And by the way, you are part of a challenge to speak Arabic. Am I wrong or?
Yes, I'm part of this challenge, and well, now I'm. It's not an excuse, but I just received my software and the books to learn Arabic. So I'm super excited about it. And yes, I'm part of this challenge and see in 90 days, I think,
Yes.
how my Arabic will be. So it'll be funny.
Okay. And another point I'm curious about is some African languages sounds really hard. Like there are some languages when you have tones and you have this movement like
Yeah,
to speak and it
Zosa.
sounds hard.
Yeah, Zosa from South Africa. I was one of the most example, and I will publish an article about it. As I told you, I live in Toronto, so I'm looking for people who speak this language to make a video about it and how it should sound on because to me it's really funny. Like communicate with clicks is different from when you communicate with your mouth or with words, right? So yeah, some African names are really complex, and it's the same for any I think linguistic family. So if we take the Indo languages, like Polish is super hard, is super difficult. Hungarian is super difficult. Russian is difficult too. So I think is also the beauty of languages. If any or every languages would be like easy, I think we would lose interest about it. It has to be a lot complex to see the beauty of language. Some have to be um, easy, don't like not that easy, and other complex. For me, that's also the beauty of languages.
And did you ever study some languages with this point of clicks?
Not yet, because I'm someone who's really methodic. I cannot learn like two languages in the same time.
Really?
So no, because I think I would be confused. Or I can read, but for example, I really dedicate myself to one language because I want to master, and in a sense, I want to be able to fully communicate in this language with the person. So of course, I'm a native French speaker. Native French, well, also for me was easy to understand. But when I was into English, I really deeply learned the language. Even I didn't like the language because it means like I was forced to learn English, right? So I didn't have a choice. But the same thing was Spanish. I did it. I went to Spain. I took classes. I get my certificate. And the same thing with Portuguese. Like I took classes. Um, I had a professor who corrected me in my grammar. Now I'm able to communicate in Portuguese, even though my pronunciation is not so good. And I'm able also to work in Portuguese.
I can
Uh,
help you.
I know, I know for sure. But it's like, and now I'm relearning the language, how to write it, and also like into Arabic. And I want to do like step by step because for me, I don't want to mix and then like speaking like is like it's like is a good example. Like before starting to take the Portuguese classes, I was talking Portuñol because I had a vague idea of what is Portuguese because I live in little Portugal in Toronto. So I'm surrounded by Portuguese and I really speak Spanish. So at the beginning, I was speaking to my neighbors in Portuñol. They understood what I was saying, but now and the fact is like, well, I want to really have a conversation with them. If I speak their language, it would be easier. It's also not only about the language, it's also about the culture, and it's also about how people think. And it would also, this is really helpful for my job, where I have to juggle into like different languages and understand how people think, because the language also structure how a culture think, or how they, yeah, really how they think. So for me, it's very important to going step by step and not learning like two, three, or four languages at the same time. That's my methodology. And but some people that I've met, they do like two, three languages, and if they can, well, good for them.
Yeah, that's not right or wrong,
Yeah.
because yeah, everyone has his own method in the end. But I was reading another day that African languages has direct influence in Portuguese language. And do you can you give me some examples of this? What languages exactly do you think has this influence in Portuguese?
It would be the Creole of Capo Verde, Angola, Portuguese, and Mozambique. So Capo Verde, Mozambique, Angola were former Portuguese colonies,
Hmm.
and so their main language is Portuguese. Angola, Mozambique, they also have the dialect, which is mixed with African languages and Portuguese. But when you listen to Creole music in Capo Verde, it's really impacted with the Portuguese. And most of the Cesare Evora, I don't know if you know her, Cesare Evora, like if you listen to the music, when people they speak in Creole, they also get influenced by the language. Yeah.
Okay, and the sad point is I have a lot of languages in my wish list, and I'm just putting some more talking with you. Yeah,
Okay, so what is your to do learn list and languages? Which language are you learning now, or you wish to learn?
oh, that's a complicated question because because nowadays I can speak five languages, and I'm maintain these languages. I'm maintaining now,
Mhm.
and sounds crazy, but I study more five languages, but it's it's just because I cannot control myself.
Okay, so
It's like an
you sound like
addiction.
yeah, you sound like an addiction. It's like I cannot control myself. Okay.
Yes, yes. And I'm studying all these languages at the same time, and I think it's possible until my mind says to me, "That's the point. Stop."
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm trying. I'm trying. Uh, 1 year ago, 1 year and a half ago, I was monolingual, and it's
What?
yes, yes, and it's working. I'm doing, and it's working. I studied English in school, but I could not speak. I just knew the grammar. And 1 year and a half ago, I started to study hard. And
Wow. I'm really impressed because me it took me like couple years to be able to speak. I learned the language, and I think it's due to the French educational system. I view like I learned English at school, but I was not able to have a conversation with people. And well, I think my generation now is changing. And when I was in school, we're not taught to use languages as an asset. It's just like we use languages because we have to use them, right? And we have like a really bad reputation on for French people saying that we're bad in languages. That's really false. It's just the fact that we don't have the opportunity to talk this language, to communicate with people. But now with the internet is super great. We can talk, we can learn, we can have language partners. And
Yes.
well, I'm amazed by what you have done. Like in a year and a half is great. Well, it's impressive.
Thank you. I think the main point, like I said before, is communication. For each language I study or speak, I have one language partner that became a friend, and
Hmm.
it's a cool thing because if you have a friend, you will talk with your friend, but your friend speak
Yes,
that
definitely.
language. You must
Yeah,
speak that language,
yeah, definitely.
and that's the
Nice.
point. And I hope to learn some African languages in a couple of times because well, I like these hard languages.
Okay.
Like I started Mandarin Chinese, because everyone was saying, "Oh, the tones, this is hard. It's so hard." And I say, "Wow, I need to try." And I need to try to manage this click too.
Okay.
Speak like this.
Okay.
Sounds so cool and so
Well,
funny.
I would take some classes and I can teach you for sure. The best way for you would be like to connect those language partners. And I don't know, but me, I'm really like into meetup websites, and meetup website is like a website where you can find group of interest. And like every week, I'm going to those meetups and to speak target language. Unfortunately, there is non African languages like meetup from now. I will create the first one like in September 30th. So I'm excited about it. But yeah, the best way for you to learn African languages is, of course, like YouTube is a great tool where you can learn like all the basic and gradings and everything. But connecting with someone is the best.
Okay, I'm about to ask you one thing. Could you, after this video, of course, to write a list like 10 languages that I don't know, maybe the main languages or your languages that you like more, and African languages, and where these languages are spoken and where to learn these languages. Like Wolof, you can learn Wolof in this place. It's a good resource, and here you have good sites. Here you have some news in Wolof and the country, because I don't like this. I do this because I have a lack of knowledge, but I don't like to think like African languages because there are a lot of languages and a lot of countries. Each country has their own language. It's not a block.
Yeah.
It's not a solid block like it's Africa and they speak a lot of languages. No, there are countries and each country with one language or more.
Uh-huh.
And that's
Yeah,
why.
definitely. The average of languages that a country has in Africa is eight languages. This is the average. Only two countries have, or three, one language, except like French
Hmm.
and English. Is Central Africa, and Burundi. They have like one African language, but the most of the rest of Africa, they have at least 5, 10, 6, 11, 16 languages per country.
I would like to live in a country with two or more languages. It sounds cool.
Yeah.
Like for example, when I start to learn Russian, my teacher was Ukrainian, and she said to me, "No, it's completely normal here. Everyone speaks Ukrainian and Russian." And I started to see like, wow, how it's possible. And
Hmm.
in Africa, it's more and more. It's not true, right? There are some
Yeah.
countries with three languages or more, and it definitely sounds cool.
Yeah. Nice, nice.
Okay, and before we end this, I first I need to thank you because it's it's a pleasure to learn new things, and I'm happy to learn more about this part of the world that I didn't know yet.
Okay.
And definitely in some time you will see me speaking some of these languages. I hope.
Okay. Nice. Good. Always keep a track on it. But nice. I'm happy. I'm happy that to see the enthusiasm of people like that they want to learn and be like learn African languages and also interested about the culture and the continent. So for me, is a good victory. Really happy about it.
Okay, very well. Before we end, I just want to ask you to say again, because for those who don't know your website, they should. Uh, Confirm with me the address again, please.
Okay, that is www.lapolyglotte.com. So La Polyglotte is in French, so is LAPOLYGLOTTE. Lapolyglotte.com.
Yeah, I will put in the description too.
Okay.
And well, if you like African languages in general, it's the best person to talk about and the best way to start. So thank you, Hadi. It was a pleasure to me, and I hope to speak more times with you because it's so funny.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hopefully, I will see you in New York. If not, I'm planning to go to Brazil. So for next year.
Okay.
So hopefully, I'll see you soon.
Okay. So, um, thank you for all, and see you soon.
See you soon. Bye.